Chapter 6, Identity Crisis. I'm your girl, Angela, aka your Energizer Beauty, and if you're just catching this video, you need to go back and start at chapter 1. This is my compelling life story of the book, Who Are You? Tales of a Survivor. Shout out to all of my survivors. Chapter 6, Identity Crisis. But let me just confuse you a little bit more. Well, maybe a lot more. The girls I considered my sisters when I was growing up were Crystal and Talia. I was in the middle. We all came out of the same mother, but we also all had different biological dads. I'm the daughter of Randolph Reds Bowman Horton. He adopted my older sister, Crystal. Talia's father is Tim. It turns out that Reds also has kids named Monica, Monique, Roderick, and Randy, my half-siblings. Then there is Katisha, who was a product of my dad's affair before he and my mother split. Crystal's birth father is actually Arnold, who is also the father of Arnelda. Crystal's long-lost sister who infiltrated our home when I was young, posing as a cousin, until we found out that she was in fact Crystal's sister. Take notes, okay? There will be a quiz on this later. Just kidding. All right, so there's some great drama involved in it, as you might imagine. Katisha, who is now a professional dancer and choreographer, came out of Red's affair. He was cheating on my mother both before she was pregnant with me and while she was carrying me. My dad had countless affairs, or what we call today a slide, jump off, side chick, all a product of how popular he was due to his basketball career. I remember my mom once telling me the story of when she found Katisha's mom hiding naked in the closet of their house. Then there was the time that my mom chased my dad down in the rain while pregnant with me, after finding another woman in the car with him. That apparently led to a big fight out in the rain. See, my mom was also a fighter. She may not have looked it, but she was one tough cookie. She still is. She may give us the blues, but she would never let anyone else mess with us. She will lay down her life still. Anyway, I'm the second eldest of mom's children and the eldest of dad's. Crystal and Talia are the ones I'm close to. As I mentioned earlier, Crystal has always been there as the family defender, the voice of reason when things get screwy. She really has been more of a mother to me than my own mother has. I've periodically tried to build a relationship with my half-sisters, Monica and Monique, but it's hard. The two are fraternal twins. Monica has always been pretty uppity, selfish, and disloyal in my opinion. I don't mesh well with people like that. Monique has been the fun, cool twin, and she tries to connect with me and my kids from time to time, but it remains short-lived. Everything always has to be about them. If it wasn't, they weren't interested. The sisters worked at R.N. Horton's, the R.N. stood for Rufus Nathaniel, funeral home for years. And if you want to call it work, because they really abused their positions of daughter to the boss for many years, nearly bringing financial ruin to the legacy that my father would eventually carry out on their behalf. The girls would leave in the middle of the workday to get their hair done. They would skip work for local excursions and lavish trips around the world on my father's dime, or should I say, the funeral home's dime. They were great at running up their professional tab and the business into the ground, until my father hired a woman to help him whip everything and everyone, including them, into shape. They no longer work there. That's why it's still a business. None of the original Horton family members besides the lovely Ella, the cousin of the founder, could have done what my dad ended up doing for founder R.N. Horton's legacy. If it were not for him, my dad, Horton's funeral home would have folded decades ago. As for my brothers, Randy and Roderick, I've always held them near and dear to my heart. I have fond memories of my little brother Roderick, and as an adult, he's always shown me love and respect. He has been on a career path to become a gangster rapper for several years now. I'm not sure if that will ever pan out. It would have been nice to see him work alongside my dad and run the family business, but I don't think that's going to happen. As for Randy, that poor guy has led a troubled life, in and out of jail, on and off the streets, only to get strung out on heroin. And he told me once that this drug is the devil and that no one beats it successfully. I know that isn't true for everyone, but in Randy's case, it is. It breaks my heart to see him like that. He was once a very handsome young man, but now he looks so old, used up, and downtrodden, like a walking zombie. I love him and wish his life were different. Last but not least, there's Katisha. She and I have had a nice relationship over the years. Distance has kept us from becoming closer, and I'm sure of that. But we have a lot in common. But the main thing we share is the feeling of abandonment from our dad. See, we didn't have him growing up while the others did, but I believe it made us stronger. While the two of us are still working on our relationship with our dad and have come a long way, family can be a tough thing. I've always felt like I got lucky with Crystal and Talia, though, that's for sure. We share a bond like no other. I would go to the ends of the earth for them. The other sibs, not so much. It is what it is. That's the end of chapter 6. And coming up in the next video, chapter 7, the story of the Steppin' Dad.